Hi everyone, Teacher Maria here, and I just had the worst morning ever. Bad days happen, and they're gonna happen at VIPKID. And a lot of times it's nobody's fault, which is a lot of what happened today. And it's been really rough, but I'm going to survive and I'm going to come back stronger. And I wanted to share with you some of the problems I had and how I dealt with them in a way that is going to let me come back even stronger this evening when I get into my evening classes and really, take it by the horns and not let it get me down. So let me tell you my story. It all began last night when my microphone decided to stop working. Oops. I am literally 2 minutes before class trying to troubleshoot my microphone, and it never worked. So what did I do? Well, if you have a choice between wearing your headset so you can hear through the headset or using a microphone, always go with the headset. And this is why. If your student is talking to you and their voice is playing from the speakers in your computer, your microphone can pick that sound up, and that's what creates feedback. And a lot of teachers experience this when their students don't wear headphones, and it's really difficult, and it's the sort of thing where you can't really listen to your student anymore because the feedback is playing over their response, so it makes for a very difficult classroom. So having been on the other end of that, I decided wear the headphones, use the microphone in the computer, and it worked really well. I went back and checked my playbacks, and while you can hear the dog walking around on the floor, it's really not that bad, and the students got what they came for. So that was last night. This morning, I woke up at 5 a.m., which was difficult for me. I did not get enough sleep after teaching until midnight, and got to my first class with my little Bow Bow, and she would not speak to me. I have had this student before, and she's wonderful. All of the feedback from other teachers is wonderful, but she was not having it. No matter how many times I repeated, pointed, cupped, called her name, Bow Bow, Bow Bow, nothing. She was just not having me today. So what do you do when you get a student that's just not cooperating? Well, I kept teaching. I kept teaching without her. And the reason why I did that is that when the parents go back to watch the playback, they might be able to still get some educational value out of that video. I even contacted the firemen, and I was like, hey guys, can she hear me? Because she is giving me nothing. And the fireman said, yeah, she can hear you. So look, I was having a bad morning, and she was having a bad morning. And so what I did is in the feedback, I was very honest, and I just said, she just didn't want to listen to me today. So I taught, and she listened, and you can always go back to the playback so you can get something out of it. And then the last thing I said was, what can I do to get Bow Bow interested in class? And this is important because there are different things that I do for different students. For instance, I have a 5-year-old that really likes stickers. Well, he gets rewarded with stickers. So I paid attention to what he likes, and that's how I managed to keep him engaged in class. So I said, for instance, if she likes hamburgers, I will reward her. Excuse me, I need to take care of my voice. I will reward her with hamburgers. And so hopefully the parents will leave me positive feedback if they watch the video and see that I was trying, and that little Bow Bow just was having a bad morning. That's okay. So it is what it is, and that was the best I could do, and that's what I did, my very best. The next class was a student IT, which is not a big deal, except there was a mix-up in translation from the firemen, and they said it was a teacher IT problem, and I'm literally sitting in class, and the message comes up, sorry, class canceled, teacher IT, and I'm like, what? And I'm getting ready, and my fingers are all fired up, ready to type that ticket to corporate. And then I went and I looked in my class bookings, and my class said it was a student IT. Look, things get lost in translation. Take a deep breath, move on. And that's what I did. That was followed by 2 good classes. Oh, thank God, 2 good classes out of 7 today. So I'll take it, I guess. And then I had another Bao Bao taking an assessment with me. Well, guess what Bao Bao wanted to do instead of the assessment? Read. She had a lovely book sitting on her lap, and so I would say, Bao Bao, what shape is this? And she would come up, circle, and then go back to reading her book and not say a word. So this was really difficult for me because I could tell that she was understanding what I was asking for, but she wasn't saying the words. So what I ended up doing was, in the rubric, if it didn't require her speaking, if the rubric didn't say student reads the sentence aloud, I gave her full points. But if it called for reading aloud, I only gave her half credit, or there's only 3 choices. I gave her the second option, only because I can't gauge her English if she's not speaking it. And for instance, a lot of it was math. Well, math is the same in every language. So the fact that she can complete sums in her head doesn't really show that she understands the English of it. However, I gave her credit for getting correct answers because I really would not give a child 0 credit on anything unless they really didn't do it. So we basically worked through the whole assessment like that, with her reading, me saying, Bao Bao, Bao Bao, circle, and then she runs up because she wasn't even near the camera, circles, and then goes back to her book. So how did I deal with this in the parent comments? Oh, one more thing. She had a project and she didn't do it. She didn't do her project. So at the very end, when we had finished all of the regular questions, I asked her to draw me a picture of her best friend. And this ended up being the best thing that she did the whole assessment. I learned that her friend is Lee. She is 13 years old. They go to school together. They like to fly kites and ride bikes. So she did a really wonderful job, and she got to earn some points back with that. Although, again, I did have to take points off because she wasn't prepared. So, again, I did my best. Hopefully she was doing her best. And in my feedback, I said, I love to read, and I would love to read to Bao Bao. So the next time I see her in class, I will have my book, Pete the Cat, and I will read to her as a reward. So I was trying to engage the student with something that she likes, and I do this, again, fairly regularly. So you got to respond to the individual students. And I may never see the student on my schedule again. She was an assessment, and they kind of tend to be a little random. But I wrote in the feedback, I believe she has mastered the content. However, if she doesn't speak, I can't assess it. So that's why her score is not good. Don't be discouraged. Don't be disappointed, and don't be worried. Just next time she has an assessment, maybe an adult should stay in the room with her. And I moved on to another student IT. She came in 15 minutes late, and we flew through those slides, and I just, again, for the playback value. And so I was like, at this point, I am falling apart. My soul is beaten and broken. Because I've never had a morning like this ever in 35 days. So that was marked as a student IT, and I had a cancellation on my schedule. So I got up, I went and used the ladies' room, I let the dog out, I got a drink, I came back, I sat down. Teacher, no show. I read my schedule wrong. My class that canceled wasn't for another half hour, so I missed this poor Bao Bao's trial class. Why, Maria? Why? Oh, well, I'll live. Look, crap happens, and it happened to me. I wasn't paying attention. I did something stupid, and I got slapped on the wrist for it, and some people might send in a ticket and say, oh, mark it as a teacher IT. Oh, I'm sorry, I did this. Oh, excuses. Oh, that. I'm really the best teacher. Girl, please. I messed up. and I'm going to own it, and I'm not going to say anything to corporate because they are so busy and so good at what they do that I am not going to insult them and other teachers that did make it to all of their classes this morning by making an excuse. But that's just a personal philosophy of self-ownership, and I can only encourage it in everyone I meet because I think it makes for a better society. Now that I'm off my soapbox, oh my God! Okay, I'm done. Well, I have one more class this morning, and all of the comments say, Camp Venture. Camp Venture! Camp Venture! Hooray! Wish me luck. I'm going to do great. I'm going to do great. I'm going to do great. This is going to be great. Great, 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 great. Fine, 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 fine. You can do it. I can do it. I had just had the crappiest morning, and I am going to go into that Camp Venture class, and that child is going to have a good time whether she likes it or not. And even if she doesn't, we will survive. We will get through it. And by 10 a.m. Eastern time, I will be in bed and worrying about my feedback later. So that was my worst morning at VIPKID ever. We'll survive, everybody. I hope this helps when you have your own bad mornings. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. Thanks. Bye.